Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 11:20 in Honolulu, 5:20 in New York. It is Friday. Happy Aloha Friday, as we say on the islands, July 27th, 2018. And this is the daily report for gold and silver, our weekend review. And what a week we have to report, with gold finishing at the lowest price point of this calendar year on a weekly chart, when today gold closed off by about $3.50, closing at $1,222.20. That, of course, is basis the most active August. October closed at $12.27. That also down about $3.50. While platinum and palladium also closed lower, there was one precious metal out of the precious metals complex which had a marginal gain today, and that is silver, closing 2 cents higher at $15.51. Now, the dollar index did fall slightly today, and that is despite of a very solid report of GDP growth to 4.1% in the second quarter of this year. The dollar fell approximately 8 points at 94.46. U.S. equities as a whole did track lower. Dow Jones Industrial Average lost about 76 points, closing at 25,451. The NASDAQ Composite lost 1.5%. Big drop in the composite, 77.37. And the Standard & Poor's lost a little bit over 0.6% at 28.18. And traders, although Bitcoin futures did fall today by $45, they did finish higher on the week, now at 82.10 per coin on the futures exchanges. Traders, gold futures did close lower today, down by about $3.50. And as you can see from this weekly chart, gold has closed at its lowest closing price this year. In fact, the last time that gold traded at these lows was about a year ago in July and August of last year, when gold dropped to these lows at roughly $1,211 before recovering the first week of August. Last week's intra-week low still is the lowest trading point of the year, as gold touched on that price point at $1,211. This week, we did see a low of approximately $1,216, and that occurred in trading today. And traders, when we look at the daily activity this week, what we notice is a narrow and defined trading range with a top at around 1235. That's this series of tops right here. And the lows coming in were achieved today at 1216. And then on Tuesday, when the market touched approximately 1219 per ounce. It has not gone as low as last Thursday's low. Of course, this came in just prior to an interview on CNBC by President Trump, which resulted in a nice upside move in gold. Gold was sitting at roughly $12.10. And once the interview came out, we saw a subsequent recovery on Thursday. And then on Friday, we saw about a $10 gain, with gold finishing off at roughly $12.31 per ounce. Trading this week resulted in approximately a $10 loss from last week's price, and we have maintained our short position in gold in the October contract, October closing at $12.27. We are short from $12.3260, so we do have about $5 of profit in our current trade. My recommendation is to maintain our current short position and to maintain our current stop. And traders, one of the reasons I believe we could see further declines in gold pricing next week is I do expect the dollar to gain some strength following today's report of a solid second quarter GDP at an annualized 4.1%. Although the dollar closed fractionally lower on the day, that could very well be supportive of the dollar next week. We know that we have some real resistance on the dollar index at around 95. We closed at roughly 94.46. So a gain of about 0.5% would put us right back into that territory where we have seen resistance, and it is, I believe, highly likely that we will see the dollar index once again flirt with 95 and even possibly closing above it next week. Traders, the fact that gold closed at its lowest level this year bodes well in the fact that we are short and our short positions do have profits at this point. We will look to tighten up our stops at the beginning of next week, but my sense is with the GDP report that came out today, it should keep the dollar fairly strong and possibly even push it back above 95. That, of course, would take gold to a lower level, and I think 1200 is certainly still achievable in terms of gold pricing next week. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We'll talk to you next week for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.